back in the studio. That's why it sounds so professional. Welcome back to it's Sam and Cathy. This is Sam and Cathy, the Sam and Cathy podcast, starring me, Sam Roberts, and Cathy Kelley.
That was a very long break. Pause.
Was it?
It's
starring
me, Sam Roberts.
Yeah, me.
That was intentional.
That's why people are listening, right? No, Cathy doesn't have... Yeah, sure. Yeah, right. I'm sure. Of course, we're the companion show to Sam Roberts Show on Sirius XM, which Cathy is my co-host on. You can listen every night, Monday through Friday, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern, over on the Opie radio channel on Sirius XM. That's Sirius 206 and XM 103. The conversation came up earlier this week. I'm trying to think of in what context, but it was about eating again. You know, everybody talks. I feel like the
seems like a topic of conversation that comes up a lot.
Eating?
In general, yeah.
So many people do it, you know? It's so weird sometimes.
Yeah,
It's
some
like,
people do it like multiple times a day.
Yeah. But I think the idea of being conscious of what you're eating is so much more
prevalent in society now.
Yeah. That's where it was. I was reading Penn Jillette's book. So you know Penn Jillette from Penn and Teller?
Oh, okay,
yeah.
yes.
And you know he used to be like a big, tall, fat guy.
Now he's a
big, tall, skinny guy.
Skinny guy, yeah.
Yeah. He lost 150 pounds or something like that. But he came out with a book that I interviewed him for this week. And his book, it's not like a weight loss book. It's more, you know, everybody's asking me how I lost weight. So here's the journey I went on. But he decided, half because he wanted to lose weight, but I think more because he wanted a crazy story, like he wanted to do something outside the box. He, for 2 weeks, in order to get the first chunk of weight off, for 2 weeks, he ate nothing but potatoes.
What?
Like, I mean, nothing but potatoes. Meaning, and water, of course.
Yeah.
But you can only eat potatoes. You have to eat the whole potato. You can eat as many potatoes as you want any day. And that's all you can eat. He said only potatoes and very little movement, no exercise, and a lot of sleep.
Starch.
Yeah, that's it. Just potatoes. And apparently you can do this with any food. Like if you're just corn, only corn, just corn. You can just do a corn diet. You could do whatever it is for 2 weeks.
Cookie dough.
I don't know, because cookie dough, I would choose cookie dough. But cookie dough is already a combination of things. I don't know if you knew that.
Bummer.
Unless you can find that cookie dough bush that you've been looking for. Fresh picked cookie dough. I get it from the farmer's market.
You just have to clarify. You didn't clarify.
Well, cookie dough is not one food.
Well, yeah, it is one food.
No, it's not. It's a combination of foods.
By definition, it's one food. You're saying it's multiple ingredients. That's what you should have said.
That's not by definition one food. It's a combination of foods.
It's one food. A hamburger is one food.
No, it's not. A hamburger is a sandwich. And a sandwich is not one food.
It's one food.
The burger patty is one.
You should specify that it should be one ingredient or one plant-based food.
No, it's one thing. One thing.
Yeah, a hamburger is one thing.
So cookie dough, then you can have
one thing.
No, it's not, because you can have as many different types of cookies as you want. If it's
a tub of cookie dough and I make it last for 2 weeks.
That doesn't count.
It's one food
item.
item.
Over the course of 2 weeks, look, you would lose weight if over the course of 2 weeks all you ate was one tub of cookie dough.
Well, I would have a very, very, very large tub of cookie dough.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not talking about that Costco nonsense. I'm talking about just a regular tub.
I would have like a tub, like a
bathtub.
A bathtub.
No, I'm going to fill my bathtub with cookie dough. You don't understand.
Chocolate chip.
Right. You could throw in chocolate chip, M&Ms. There's some oatmeal in there, but I mixed it all up. I just go to the tub with a spoon.
Popcorn pretzels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm hungry, I just go to the tub with a spoon.
Like a fun kind of cookie dough.
Yeah. No, you can't. Of course you can't do cookie dough. That is absurd. Just one food, not a combination of foods. So
one plant-based item.
Yeah, I don't know if it has to even be plant-based. It just can't be something that you would have to combine things to make.
So you could have just steak.
Maybe. I think so. Just steak, only steak, as much steak as you want. Maybe.
Yeah. Not combining it with oil, not combining it with
no
salt.
No oil, no salt, no nothing. So on these potatoes, you can bake them, but you can't butter them. You can't fry them. because you would have to fry them in oil. So
Yeah.
now there's oil on them. No
You
salt.
can boil them.
Right. That's what it was. You could eat them raw.
Could
You-
microwave them.
Yes, you can microwave them. But I'm not sure, because if you microwave them, it evaporates the water in them.
Nutrients.
And then you're not eating the whole potato. So I actually think that might have been against the rules.
So you have to have the whole potato?
If you're going to eat a potato, you have to eat the whole potato.
Weird.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Is it all about like conservation and stuff too? Like
What do you mean?
You can't like take the peel off the potato?
You can't peel the potato. It's part of the
Oh.
potato.
Can you wash the dirt off the potato?
Yeah, but you probably can't use soap.
I wouldn't use soap.
You don't wash your potatoes in soap and water? But he said, like, too, because obviously there's going to be all these questions. He said that his response, his friends would be like, all you're eating is, he said, what's the deal with the potatoes? And he said, oh, the deal is go fuck yourself. That was the response every time. And he did end up losing a lot of weight, but he had no energy, and it was a horrendous
Sounds
process.
like it.
Have you ever eaten raw potato?
I don't think so. Like not on purpose.
It's good.
It's like you accidentally undercook a potato and then you eat it.
Yeah, no. I've picked up a potato.
And just bitten into it like an apple.
Yeah, I have done that, but I'll usually slice it and just eat it. Yeah. Or I'll just peel it and eat it. I've done that. Yeah, sure.
Huh.
Put some salt on it. I mean, it's really starchy, but I was eating it when I was a kid,
Yeah.
so I developed like a taste for it. That's the other thing, Pence.
You have the weirdest palate.
You think so?
Yeah.
It's a potato. It's basic. I like basic.
Yeah.
I can do raw potatoes. I can eat raw potatoes every day.
I made stamps out of potatoes and arts and crafts in camp.
It's wasting a potato. You could have eaten that bad boy.
Yeah.
You know.
Apparently.
But he did say like he had 2 weeks of just potatoes, and
Does
then
he hate potatoes now?
I don't think so. I think he can still handle them. But he had some corn after he ate all those potatoes, and he said it was the most delicious sweet thing that he'd ever eaten, because this whole like his palate had been totally changed.
Yeah.
His taste buds had been changed, and all this artificial sugar and stuff was now a foreign body to him. He didn't get it at all. But I don't know. We were just talking about it, and I eat a lot of fast food. And I'm not in great shape by any stretch of the imagination, but I just think so much of it is genetics. Because I have odd eating habits.
You have odd eating habits, but you really don't eat much.
I don't eat a lot.
Like you skip a lot of meals that you don't think about, and
Yeah.
I feel like you'll eat very slowly. Like I always finish my meals when we're eating
Right.
together, and you'll like
Well, you wolf
pretend
it
like
down.
you save it. Well, I just like
I'm
I
just
eat at
kidding.
a normal pace,
Right.
And you're just like then you save the other half. Like you're gonna eat it later, but I feel like you don't eat it later.
Sometimes I eat it later. I'll eat it on the train, or I'll
Or you
eat it
get
late
so
at night.
stressed for like shows.
That's what it is. A lot of it's stress. Like this morning, I woke up, and like I just walked around the house, and like an hour and a half after I'd woken up, Jess was like, "Look, Nutella," and she put a spoon and just pointed it towards my mouth, and I said, "I can't right now." She's like, "Why?" I said, "Because I haven't eaten anything today yet, so I gotta like pick and choose properly what the first thing is." And just moved
So
on.
weird.
Like moved on to the next thing. But you said you had a survey
Okay, so
that you wanted to give me?
It's a BuzzFeed quiz that I wanted to give you, and the title is "Can we guess your exact age based on your McDonald's order?"
Oh, they're gonna lowball me.
Yep, that was the plan. Okay, so I haven't answered these. I really wanted to go through and see what yours would be based on what I thought that your answers would be, but
Okay.
I saved it. So, first question.
Yeah, because you don't know me.
I know you very well.
Oh.
I think the last BuzzFeed quiz that I took with you, I like took.
You answered for
Yeah,
me?
I
Yeah, I
answered
was like,
for
you
you.
just do it, Kathy.
Yeah.
I don't need.
Okay, so first question: what time do you normally visit McDonald's? The answers are 9 a.m., 12 p.m., 4 p.m., 7 p.m., 12 a.m., or 2 a.m.
12 a.m. I was
Yep.
there yesterday.
That's what I would have answered.
Yeah.
Okay, second question. What's your favorite thing to order from the dollar menu? McChicken, ice cream cone, nuggets, side salad, cheeseburger, or fries?
You know this one. Nuggets.
Yep. Okay. Third question. What dessert do you order at McDonald's? Apple pie, cookies, milkshake, M&M McFlurry, hot fudge sundae, or vanilla cone?
Milkshake. Did you get that one?
I wouldn't have known that.
Okay, milkshake. I don't have much of a sweet
Actually,
tooth.
I probably could have guessed that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say M&M McFlurry, but if just McFlurry was an option.
Yeah. No, I went at milkshake.
Okay. What sandwich do you order from McDonald's? Classic hamburger, quarter pounder, cheeseburger, McChicken, fish fillet, or Filet-O-Fish, or Big Mac?
That's a waste of a question. You know the answer to that.
McChicken.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. What do you usually order from the breakfast menu? Biscuit sandwich, a McMuffin, hot cakes, McGriddle, breakfast burrito, or oatmeal?
If I had to order something?
If you had to order something.
I'd probably go hotcakes.
Okay.
That's probably going to shock a lot of people, but that's the direction I'd go in.
Oh.
What?
You got 28. That is so much closer than I thought it would have been.
I have a lot of youthful energy about me. That's the thing about me.
I was guessing, I was going to say
9?
between, I was probably going to guess it would give you 17, 18.
Yeah, well.
18, actually.
I'm far more mature than that. They know me. BuzzFeed knows me. They know me. But I don't know what that would be based on. What does younger people order? It's just like whatever's chicken. I
mean, I would guess a younger person would order the M&M McFlurry.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true.
And they wouldn't, like a child wouldn't be ordering at 12 a.m.
Yeah, I guess. A teenager or a 17-year-old would, though, right? Senior in high school, you're like, it's Friday. We don't have any curfew and I have a driver's license. The drive-thru's open.
I mean, they would probably go at 4 p.m. after school.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. I guess that's
or
true.
noon on lunch break.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've always had a weird, I've just eaten the same thing always. But I think that's why I always think that, like, if I wanted to get in good shape or decent shape even, I'm sure I could.
You just don't have that motivation.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see any reason to yet. If the doctor was like, your cholesterol is terrible or you're going to die soon from a heart attack, I'd be like, oh, I'll stop doing the stuff that I was doing before so I don't die. Or if they were like, hey, Sam, bad news, you got diabetes, I'd be like, oh, I guess it's less sugar for me then. That's fine. But in the meantime, I'm not going to fix I don't go swimming. I don't need to, I leave my T-shirt on, I mean, I'm not going to fix a problem that's not really broken, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't need fixing. I'm fine with it. But you eat more fast food than, I guess some girl. You don't eat a lot though.
I mean, I'm more open to it. Like I used to eat a lot of fast food when I was younger.
Yeah. Jess won't eat any.
I like Chipotle.
That's like grown up fast. That's like responsible
but I'm trying to think of like
food.
when I was younger, like when my mom and I would get fast food. It was always like Wendy's, Taco Bell, McDonald's, whatever.
Taco Bell's the best. Oh, it's such a treat. When I decide, because they don't have it in the city. Mm-hmm. So when I'm home, I drive in Westchester. I'll drive to the drive-thru of Taco Bell for lunch. And like when I decide one day, oh, I got to go out. I got to run out and do this, do that, do this. I'm like, oh my God. While I'm out,
gonna get some Taco Bell.
I'm gonna get some chalupas and a quesadilla. Yeah.
And then, like, when they started doing the Doritos Locos Tacos, that was just a game changer in college.
Not for me. Number one, I was out of college by then. But number two, it's a chicken chalupa or a chicken quesadilla, and that's it. No sauce on either one.
Yeah.
That's the way I roll.
Oh, and In-N-Out, too. That's delicious.
Yeah, but it's only burgers, right?
Yeah.
And they've grilled cheese.
Well, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about what I like.
Yeah.
Welcome to the star of the
show. Starring. No, that screws me up because like I want to embrace, like the West Coast fast food chain that I embrace is like Carl's Jr. Because it's like got everything.
Yeah.
I
had never had Chick-fil-A until I was an adult. Because they didn't have them in the Midwest. That was
really?
Yeah, they didn't have them around me.
I thought they had Chick-fil-A in the Midwest.
They might have expanded since I left. But when I grew up, they didn't have Chick-fil-A
did
where I lived.
Did it blow your mind when you first had it?
It was delicious.
It was crazy.
Like waffle fries, great milkshakes, awesome chicken sandwiches.
Chicken. Yeah.
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 And quality service.
Depending on where you go. Well, I got to be honest, the one by us here in New York, like real close, the service isn't great.
Most places in New York, the service isn't great.
But I've been kicking it to the cashiers a little bit, and I'm getting a little better service now.
They remember your order?
Yeah, well, today, because that's what Troy and I do. Troy Kwan, who works on the show, we go down to fast food a lot. And if it's the establishments that we frequent, we flirt with the cashiers every time.
So, in hopes to get like extra sauces for free.
We get a little more than that. We've already in the Chick-fil-A, and we've only started this game there. We've already gotten ice cream cones.
Oh wow!
We used to kill it at the Wendy's. They closed the Wendy's, but we used to we would have like a couple of different girls down at the Wendy's, and we get free nuggets, we get free Frosties,
Wow.
like every time. And Troy's even more shameless than I am. He's like, you can't throw in a couple Frosties too? You know what I mean?
Probably like run his fingers through his hair.
Exactly. Yeah, but yeah. No, we're working Chick-fil-A now. And it is happening. It's definitely happening there. It just depends because there's a lot of people that work there. So sometimes our girl isn't there. So we got to start grooming another one, I think.
Oh, but don't let them find out about each other.
No, sometimes that's okay.
Oh.
Because the girls
Friendly
get,
competition?
not friendly. Girls get jealous of each other. Girls definitely get jealous of each other. I don't think it's a bad thing to show to show a girl some attention.
Yeah.
And then show another girl some attention and let them know that there's you know what I mean?
I guess it depends on her age. Although if you're working at Chick-fil-A, probably younger.
Right.
I would hope.
Or what else you got going on? A little excitement, a little drama. It never hurt anybody. I've been, they put, I don't know if we've talked about it before. I feel like we have, but maybe, I don't know. They they make everything a disease, you know? Everything's a disorder. Everything's got a name. I was reading this article about a kid who only ate beans and sausages for 11 years, which is like, he's probably British. but it said for most of his 11 years, this boy, Tyler, in England, I knew it, ate nothing but beans and sausage from a can. His mother says that it was based on a feeding tube mishap that he experienced as a premature infant. He didn't want the sensation of chewing or swallowing. The sausage and beans in a tin were really soft, and that became a safe food for him. Every day he would ask for sausage and beans. I'd beg him to try new food, but he refused. And now they're saying it turned out he suffered from a condition known as selective eating disorder.
You 100% have that.
That's not a disorder. Like, it's not a thing.
It's also known as being picky.
Yeah, it's being a stubborn asshole. Like, it's being stubborn. That's all it is. It's not a real disorder. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Personally, some people get annoyed.
Yeah. I was a picky eater for most of my life, until I was probably 18. Honestly, and my mom jokes about this all the time, when I started dating and having to go out to dinner with my then boyfriend's parents, and I was so embarrassed that I wouldn't eat vegetables, that I started eating vegetables and realizing, oh, I don't hate these. I just never tried them before.
I had to get to that point where, like when I started entering adult life, where I was like, you know what? I have to do two things. I have to adopt a personality where it's like, oh, that's just Sam. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, I have to be kind of... And
it's funny. It's like
it's just what he does.
Now, yeah.
Like, it's just kind of... And by adopt a personality, I don't mean fake anything. I mean be unashamed about what you do. Mm-hmm. Like, and be like, yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Everyone knows this. Yeah.
And kind of learn how to mix food up on your plate so you just avoid questions. Because, like, people get annoyed by me being a picky eater, but there's no real reason to. It's just their hang-ups. Like, I'd never stop anybody from going to a restaurant.
I was going to say, too, like, you're not one of those people that complains about being hungry.
No.
Like, if people want to go eat at a steak place or whatever, you're not going to be like, I don't want to eat anything.
Yeah. I'm the idiot.
I have to go somewhere else.
Yeah,
I'll bring my own food. No,
right.
You just sit there and then you eat later.
Like when we were on that trip I was telling you about with Jess and her friends.
Yeah.
When we went out to Sonoma. The last night it was at this nice restaurant, and I was like in the back of my head, I'm like, fuck me, nice restaurant.
Hope they have just chicken.
Yeah, exactly. I better have a big lunch if it's a nice restaurant. And I went and I literally, like, everybody was like, oh, this is great. I had a Caesar salad.
Yeah.
And that's all I had. And I had to go find food somewhere else and pick it up later in the evening, which is fine by me. I eat a whole bunch of food right before I go to bed. It's good. It's good for me. But yeah, Adrian gets annoyed. Adrian just walked in. Adrian gets annoyed sometimes at the fact that, I have my quirks about eating, which I was trying to tell Cathy. Like, when people get annoyed by it, it's their deal because I don't complain about it.
Yeah.
I don't sit there and expect other people to follow because I eat chicken, I eat pizza, I eat bacon.
I don't get annoyed so much as I
Frustrated a little. Like,
I feel like you're missing out, and I want you to get as much as you can out of life.
no, you don't. That's a lie.
What are you talking about?
Like, you're just
those type of
frustrated
people
'cause you don't get it.
care about. Yeah, they care more about themselves and
Like,
wanting to be the
I
person
don't
that
understand.
introduces
To me,
him
it's
to something new.
Obviously, I was being an ass, but
I walked in the
Glad you
room.
agree, yeah.
it's just like I just don't understand like how you can not like. I love steak.
Right.
Like it's one of my favorite
Yeah,
things.
but I don't love dudes either. Like, it's like there's so many things that are different. No, I mean, look, I have it's something in me. It's not even. I have a psychological aversion to all this stuff. I have been literally. You can ask Jess.
Mm-hmm.
For 2 years, I have been trying to build up to this place where mentally I can bring eggs into the diet.
Oh wow!
Why eggs?
Because I feel like that's a food that would be a good addition.
Yeah,
Eggs suck.
I like eggs.
See, I don't need to hear that.
I love
I mean,
eggs.
like eggs are. I mean,
But they're not that great?
no. I mean, and when you eat a lot of them, like after a while, you're just like, ugh.
I hated
I've never
eggs
had
at
one,
first.
though.
No. I hated eggs for most of my life,
But you-
and then I was at Mardi Gras and I was really drunk, and that was the only thing to eat, and I ate eggs, and I realized I liked them. So maybe
You
you
eat
need
eggs
to get
drunk?
drunk.
No. Yeah, that sounds gross.
That's a horrible combination.
You didn't
It was
throw up
great.
eggs all over
I was
the place?
hungry.
Ugh.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Yeah, no, I've never like, Jess is like, okay, here's what we'll do. We get a bacon, egg, and cheese. And I'm like,
Oh, in that case, eggs are the fucking best. And,
Why?
And that bacon, egg, and cheese is awesome.
The combination is
Yeah.
delicious.
but I'd go and I'd be like, okay, I think and then I'd get there and be like, I'm not ready. I'll have a bacon and
not ready.
cheese.
You
It's like losing your virginity.
you like
Yeah.
rice and stuff
Not yet.
though, right? Like for
What did you just say?
you don't like rice.
he doesn't like
I was thinking.
I
I was
like-
thinking like
I-
Chinese food. You've had Chinese food before.
I
though.
get sweet and sour chicken,
Okay.
and I don't use the sauce. That's what
Okay.
I get from the Chinese
So
food.
he gets chicken nuggets.
Well, it's not like nugget, but yeah, it's fried chicken, but
Okay.
it's delicious. But like, not only do I not like rice, I have like a phobia of rice. I get grossed out by rice. I don't want it anywhere. I can't handle one grain. Like, I hate rice.
Okay.
Not much of a sushi guy then.
No, I'm not much
Weird.
of a sushi guy. That's what was I interviewing Jack Osborne when he was like, what's the weirdest thing you ever ate? You eat any sushi? I'm like,
yeah,
get
yeah.
the fuck out of here, Jack Osborne.
Yeah, I remember.
You know? Yeah. Like, no, I don't eat sushi. But
Yeah, you could bake an egg into a biscuit or something.
yeah, but that's where I'm at. Like, for 2 years,
Yeah.
I've been trying to get to the place. It was about that length of time ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I finally brought baked potatoes
Can I ask a question?
into. I brought baked potatoes in, and that was a game changer.
Mm-hmm.
I love baked potatoes now.
So bland.
Well, I
Well,
put some
that's-
cheese
that's one of
and
those things
bacon and
with
butter
eggs
on.
as well,
No
where-
sour cream.
The
So you
thing
like-
with eggs as well, where like you can make it taste like anything. It's not that like there's not much taste to eggs.
What about the yolks?
You actually, well, how will you? You haven't eaten an
Scramble
egg
it,
yet.
Yeah,
No, I haven't eaten any eggs.
scramble it or
Oh,
just
you won't
try
like the
egg
yolks.
whites.
No, he won't like it. If he has a sunny side up egg, he will not
Oh
like the
well,
yolks.
I
That's not
hate
for
that
me.
too. I would
Yeah.
never eat
Oh,
that
I love
either.
breaking that
no,
open,
I
you
would
spread it on a piece of
that's
toast.
disgusting. I hate the yolk part. But if you do,
But people say yolks are the delicious part.
that's it's. Honestly, I would try just egg whites first because that has very little taste. You can like season it how
But
you
that
want.
might turn him off because it has such little taste. I think you should just go scrambled eggs. Is the safest bet.
What about
Scrambled
just
eggs, yeah,
bacon,
I
egg, and
agree.
cheese? Because then I
Yeah.
can mask
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
with
yeah.
stuff I
Salt,
like. I
pepper,
like
ketchup.
bacon and
Yeah.
I like cheese.
Can I ask you a question though?
Yes, you may, Adrian. Go ahead.
You eat bacon, but you don't eat. Do you eat pork otherwise?
No.
So
That's
you
how I
won't-
am too.
Yeah, no.
Really?
Yeah,
It is
No.
a filthy animal.
bacon and
Yeah,
prosciutto.
I don't care. Yeah, because guess what? Yeah, because it's not like chickens sit around playing in their own shit all day.
That's true.
You know, chickens
Yeah.
are gross.
But why? What made you decide that eggs were going to be your jumping off point?
It's very strange. Oh, what made me decide that eggs would be something
why
I wanted?
eggs? Why not like fucking? I don't know anything.
Because I feel like I don't have a lot of breakfast options in the thing. I mean, you remember
You
when
can
you were
find eggs everywhere.
when you were interning for me, I would have strange breakfast orders
Toasted bagel with peanut butter
Or-
tomato and mozzarella
on a roll. Those were the two go-tos. That would be it.
and a Snapple.
And a Snapple. I love Snapple.
You like your sugary drinks?
I do. I love a sugary drink. Well, what did you catch me drinking today? Coke float.
Oh, that's right.
We got it from the ice cream
you
truck.
get cranky when your blood sugar's low.
Do I?
A little.
Good.
I've noticed.
Good.
Dr.
Yeah, no.
Pepper puts a pep in your step.
Garth Brooks just told Roland that he likes Dr. Pepper.
Well, I mean, he's a very successful person.
Very
There's
successful.
so much in common.
Yeah, me and Garth.
Yep.
We got a country soul. We wrote songs about banging an old lady one summer, and we both like Dr. Pepper. Yeah, no. I just because eggs is like I don't have a lot of breakfast stuff because you could do a lot with eggs and because they're good. They're a good source of like protein and stuff. Like it's.
So it was a health conscious decision.
Well, yeah, I mean that's part of it, right? Like it's like that would be that would. I want to, if I'm going to pick something, it's like physically, like just mentally, I have to be able to figure out a way where, yeah, I could see that working kind of.
Was there anything else in the running where you're like, okay, it's going to be eggs or maybe this, or this?
No.
It's such a weird choice to me.
Well, because it's like baked, it's the basics.
Do you eat pancakes?
Yeah.
Obviously, you like cereal.
I like carbs. I like breads. Not pasta, though.
Not
See?
me.
See? This is interesting, though. You'd probably say, why wouldn't you choose pasta before you chose eggs? But to me, eggs make much more sense than pasta.
Why is that?
It just seems like...
More of a payoff?
Well, you talked about how you needed a breakfast item.
Yeah, more of a payoff. It's like I feel like if I adopted eggs into the thing, I could just eat eggs all the time, right? Like I could just go grab an egg McMuffin, grab a whatever. But with pasta, I don't want pasta. I'm way far away from pasta.
Why? Is it the texture or something?
Yeah, it just doesn't seem.
Is
just a bunch of shitty, wet, floppy noodles. Ugh.
Is your aversion to all these foods?
I'm not a virgin.
Aversion.
Oh,
Yeah. Is your aversion to all these foods a psychological thing because you don't like change or
well, I
like,
think that's I've done some analysis of myself, and I think that's part of it. I think that there's like, I mean, it's the same thing.
You're a routine guy.
Very routine guy, and also I am fairly self-aware, but I like to I feel like everything is an identifier, and I get worried like that I don't like that because that's not what I like. You know what I mean? Like I have my own.
So it's like you're selling out.
Yeah. So like even when I decided, with my parents obviously, but I made the decision when I'm like 12 or 13, and I decided to start using human growth hormone. One of the biggest steps psychologically, and I didn't realize this until right before I started, was I came to this moment because I was in school and I was the shortest kid in school. Like if I didn't take HGH, I probably wouldn't have reached 5 feet tall. Mm-hmm. And I was like, it was a no-brainer because
You should have lifted.
You think so? While I was doing it,
I know a kid who had the same problem as you, and he lifted while he was doing it, and he got fucking huge.
swole.
Yeah.
Did he keep it?
For the most part.
Yeah.
Once he became an adult, now
Do
he's
you
more
still
fit than
take
he's gigantic.
HGH?
Yeah, I would
But he's
worry
still
about
ripped.
getting fat.
No,
Doesn't muscle turn into fat if you don't keep working out?
No,
No.
that's biologically impossible.
You just get rid of
That's
it.
like when people are like, "Why don't you just turn your fat into muscle?" Like it's not. You can't convert fat into
But
muscle.
if you get bulky like that, you're not gonna get skinny, are you?
I mean, your muscle will get eaten away after a while if you don't work out.
Oh, that's dope. All right, maybe I should get big muscles then.
just try it for a little bit.
Yeah, just
see if
see.
it works.
Just see. I guess it depends. If you're still consuming like you would if you were working out, then the calories are going to turn into fat. But yeah. So I'm doing human growth hormone. But right before I started, the biggest hurdle was I had to deal with the fact that I wasn't going to be the short kid anymore. And even though that's a negative, right? Like nobody wants to be the short kid. It was, I'm Sam. I'm the short kid in class. If I stop doing this, then that's not a thing. That's not an identifier anymore. I'm going to have to figure out a new identifier or get something to replace that or figure out who I am after that. So I still went for it, obviously. Mm-hmm. But that was a thing in my head. I was like, I got to get past that. So I'm better about that now.
But you liked being the short kid?
I didn't like it. I just knew that was who I was.
You liked having something?
That's who I am.
But was it because you liked having something like, oh, Sam is the short kid? Like,
There was part of that.
You liked being recognized for that?
It wasn't even... No, it was about me identifying who I am. I know I'm Sam the short kid.
You got a big brain, but there's a lot of shit in there, dude.
It's just taking up space.
But there's a lot of dark shit.
You think so?
Yeah.
What kind of dark?
I don't know. There's just weird stuff there.
Why is it dark?
You're a brilliant person, but there's some weird shit in your head.
Why do you think it's like what kind of
How
weird?
old were you?
13, 12?
Yeah, the fuck. You know what I was mostly thinking about at 13?
What?
Masturbating.
Yeah, I should have
Because
done
your
more of
brain's
that.
not advanced.
I guess so.
Yeah, but
I
guess
mean,
what? Guess who had more fun?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Way
Sir-
more
Sir-
than both of you put together.
Sir comes a lot over here.
That's
He wasn't
right.
really worried about
I'm still doing it.
identifiers or filling out his Mensa forms. He was too busy writing with something else.
That's right.
His felt tip. You know what I'm saying?
Talking about my penis.
I know.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's part of it. But now it's just like, I just lock on to what I like and don't like, and there's no real motivation for me to do anything besides what I'm already doing in terms of that, right? Like, I mean, half the reason I never started drinking was because there was no reason to start. Like, nobody could, nothing made me feel like that would be something to start doing.
I'll give you a reason right now.
What?
It's fucking fun.
Oh, I see.
It's the best.
Because you get fucked up, right?
It's great. I mean, when you do it too much, it starts becoming not fun.
Right. But if you do it the right amount.
Exactly. Moderation is key.
Right.
And everything.
I see. It
He
could
just
be.
doesn't do moderation.
You do
Me?
moderate.
Yeah, I do.
You do moderation now, right?
Yeah. Compared to what I eat. There were periods where I was drinking quite heavily.
Is that right?
Yeah. Before I worked here,
Yeah.
I had probably about a year before that. It was like 5 days a week.
5 days.
Only 5?
That's
Yeah.
a lot. That's,
There are
Roughly.
2 extra days.
that's quite a bit.
I need to sleep it off.
Those are the recovery days.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, I feel great.
Yeah.
Go back to it. Oh. Why'd you stop?
Because I realized I was fucking up.
See, but here's the thing. Like, I'm worried too that, like, if I say that, I was like, okay, I'm going to start drinking then what am I going to do? Are my identifiers going to click in? And all of a sudden, I'm like, no, I drink a lot. That's what I do. And all of a sudden,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
drinking.
weird,
Right?
Sam.
It's not good.
That's like you know how Jess says that you should do.
Therapy? I should go to a therapist?
He could probably tell you more about that than I can.
What? Jess, I've been talking to Adrian. My kid producer. Yeah. He's got all kinds of great shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I have a very obsessive personality. Very obsessive. Not addictive.
I know you do.
Not addictive, I don't think. But obsessive.
Yeah, it's definitely not addictive.
I don't think it's addiction.
I have a little bit of an addictive personality, and you're not like that.
I
at
don't
all.
think so. I think it's obsessive, but it's not like addiction becomes like this thing where it's like you're not in full control of it. Whereas I don't tend to lose control because I justify things.
Well, you kind of become obsessed with something, and because you enjoy it,
Yeah.
for the most part.
But then I block everything else out, and then I get myself to a point where I can't enjoy it anymore.
because you're so obsessed, I have to be good at this.
Yeah.
Which I understand because I've experienced that in certain aspects, and then I've also experienced addictive
Well, isn't the obsessive thing? Isn't that more of like an athletic?
trait.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
Meaning
say
like
so.
that's how a successful athlete would be like. I'm obsessed with performing this sport well.
Which is probably how I went to drinking 5 days a week. Because once that ended,
Right.
there's
I'm going to
no-
be the drink. I'm the man. I'm Adrian, the party machine. Right?
yeah,
It's Friday. It's Saturday. It's Sunday. Monday.
party machine is here.
Yeah, exactly. And
What the fuck?
And everybody was like, "Oh
I have that tattooed
man,
on my ass, actually.
you do
The party machine?
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. It matches. Kathy's got the same thing tattooed on her ass.
I
so-
wish she did.
Yeah.
Can we see?
No.
Okay.
All right. Someone's no fun.
Saw that one coming a little bit.
Yeah.
So you don't have but you drank for a little bit,
Yeah.
but it wasn't ever a problem.
No.
No.
But did you grow up with kids who drank a lot? Or no?
Yeah. So
But did they make fun of you?
no.
Oh,
My friends did.
made fun of you?
No, anybody who
You
wasn't
just
like.
succumb to the peer pressure.
Any
I
queer
mean, I
bait
think
that wasn't
there
peer
were-
pressure because
There
I
were
was
definitely people that made fun of me, but I thought that they were stupid.
See, it wasn't peer pressure for me because I wanted to do it. Like I was one of the people to initiate it. I think when we started, and then it just became kind of a thing. But my friends weren't. Most of my friends were degenerates.
Yeah. No, I
Like-
believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was looking at your Snapchat last
Oh,
weekend.
Those are all idiots.
and just
Yeah.
wanted to let you know most of your friends are
Were or-
degenerates.
yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah,
were
yeah,
or
yeah.
are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm
was
still
looking.
friends with a lot of them.
Adrian had a series of Snapchats over the weekend called Saturdays for the Boys.
For the boys.
Yeah, it was
So
just
Saturdays
like,
You realize that
For the boys.
I mean, look,
looking at his Snapchat
I was laughing.
is reinforcing
The boys.
I have to tell you something.
Hey, Kathy, what are Saturdays for?
not the boys.
The boys.
Yeah, no, he's right. They are for the boys. I was laughing at the Who Kid, his Snapchat's partying with Who Kid, and I was laughing at Saturdays. Who's it for?
The boys.
That's right. That's right.
For the boys.
Let me ask you.
Yes.
Did you really think that people making fun of you were stupid, or were your feelings hurt and you were like, well, they're stupid?
No, I knew that they were not going to succeed in life, so I didn't care.
But
I don't think
what
it's
age?
necessarily true.
Yes, no, that's definitely true. Is
All
like
of them?
I saw, yeah, like the people that,
I don't
like
know
the
either.
3 people that I remember specifically in high school. Like I remember being at a party senior year, being the only one that was sober, seeing my friends drinking and being like, oh, they'll be fine. And then seeing these 3 douchebags that were drinking, they're like, whoa, you're not drinking, like, and then making fun of me. And I was like, these guys are gonna like live in the same town, not be able to hold down a job, probably like.
That's weird because I have 2 friends, my 2 best friends. Where if there wasn't a party or anything going on the weekend, we would meet up in the woods, just the 3 of us, and knowing that the cops, because the cops in my hometown were crazy, knowing that they'd be there within an hour because someone who lived around that wooded area would call, and we would have a race to try and finish a bottle as fast as possible, and then the weekend would be run from the cops. And
Well,
that was
yeah,
fun.
it's fun. It's a party
And
machine.
Those 2 friends now, one of them is on his way to being a doctor. One of them is really successful in finance.
That's what
and
I was going to
I'm with
say.
you.
I have to tell you, like, some people, I think they like to convince themselves
Yeah.
that, like, if you're cool in high school, you won't be cool later.
But
And there are people that are like
But
that.
the people that I know that did that are not cool right
But
now.
I will say most of my friends who I used to party with, not so much on the...
Right.
And I'm not saying that like partying when you're younger is gonna stop you from, because I definitely like I enjoyed myself in college. It was just I never became addicted to it. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
And
know.
they still are like they're still living in that like going to the same pubs that are
Well,
in
that
the
I've
neighborhood.
always,
Yeah.
there, it's easy to get caught up in that because I know kids who are still the same place every fucking weekend, or same thing for the most part. So it's easy to get caught up in that cycle because you think what you're doing is fun, and then one day you're like, this is not.
There's a line, though, because there is something to be said about, like, not, like, yeah, the people who were thinking about their futures in high school and college have good futures, but they didn't have as much fun in high school and college. So there's some, like, that is a trade-off.
I had
Like,
so much fun in college, and I was thinking about my future.
yeah, but you had a lousy time in high school.
But most of, like the first 3 years, I wasn't thinking about my future, and I had a lousy time. My senior year, I was thinking about my future, and I had a great time.
And by the way, I know that if I was kind of muted to, like, work and all this stuff, that of course I would have had more fun. And it is a trade-off. You know what I mean? Because, like,
Yeah.
It's a trade off for everything.
getting to turn your brain off and just having fun and making fun of people is fun.
Yeah.
And while, you know, it is the PC thing to do is to be like, yeah, you know, well, look where they are now. And it's like, yeah, but they had a lot of fun before. You know what I mean?
Like there's one kid I was talking about who's a doctor is a disgusting animal every weekend.
Right.
Disgusting, but he's brilliant. Like
Right.
he's really smart. He's gonna be a surgeon.
Those are the frustrating people. Because
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, well, you can't have this much. Oh, that's how much money you make, and you're going to be a surgeon.
He drives me crazy.
Right. I love those people.
Because he still has that like 15-year-old drink a bottle of vodka, wake up the next morning, no hangover.
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
You know?
Sometimes the doctors are the worst. I remember people that I hung out with through association, they were all in med school, and they all had a thing where they're like, oh yeah, let's try one new drug a month.
Yeah,
Like,
I know
they were
some
the-
nurses who are wacky.
Yeah.
All pilled out.
It's like, these are the future doctors of America.
I was seeing a nurse for a little bit, and she was like the stories she's not her specifically, but the stories she was telling me about like the girls she
Her
worked with.
coworkers.
Yeah, they all smoke cigarettes, like, which is like
Yeah, who does that?
Well,
Although, do you think cigarettes are making a comeback? I kind of feel like they are.
for someone who works in healthcare.
Yeah.
in on a cancer floor,
I think cigarettes are making a comeback.
they are.
They
I
are,
think
right?
those vape.
No, I think
Those are fucking.
those are stupid.
Yeah.
I think old school cigarettes are making a comeback.
They are every single. I mean, when I drink, I smoke.
Yeah.
I'll smoke like 2 cigarettes.
You know what it is? It's
Or
because
sometimes 10
when
or 15 or
when
20.
when it was like, hey, cigarettes are bad and we all kind of know, so let's just live with it. Then it was like, okay. But when it became like a mommy state and it was no, nobody can ever smoke ever and blah blah blah, then people are going to reject that.
Well, that's what happens with everything.
Yeah.
That's why I started drinking heavily, because I had a strict dad who was like, "You're not allowed to drink." And I was like,
ever. And it's like, well,
okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna go drink.
5 days a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same thing that goes on with like, and now fast food is the new cigarettes. And so,
It's a cycle.
right. And so it's like, no, it's dirty to go eat fast food. And it's like, okay, well, how about, go suck an egg because I'll probably have fast food 4 to 5 times a week, if not more. And I'll probably be fine. Probably really will be fine. It's not that big of a deal. It's like, you're going to get obese if you eat, 200 Big Macs over the course of 6 months. Yeah, that's going to happen. But that's just because of the amount of food you're taking in. Like, you can't get that fat by just eating regular human-sized meals. It's just not enough calories. It's impossible.
Yeah.
To get obese, you have to eat huge amounts of food, right?
Or you just have to eat calorie-packed foods. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, but a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, if you exceed 2,000 calories in a day, you'll gain weight. That's the when you break it down mathematically, that's what it is. Because your body burns 2,000 calories just in normal operation.
Well, it depends on what you're...
I mean, give or take, but for the 2,000 is like an average, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, you really have to chow down to get obese. And by the way, it doesn't sneak up on you.
But it's easier than you think.
To get obese?
Yeah. I mean, if you're someone who drinks, too, if you factor that into the equation,
wow,
that's an extra whole bunch of calories.
And if you have a desk job or you're sitting most of the day.
Not only is it extra calories, but the reason you're drinking is because you're masking all the kind of concern. So those times when your body would be like, hey, you're very fat, you should start to lose weight. Let me have a drink, I'll forget that. Poof. Yeah. Right. And then the I'm worried about being fat goes away, and it's replaced with more calories.
You say I'm going to work out Monday, but then you get fucked up on Saturday. You spend all day Sunday suffering, and then wake up Monday still recovering.
And you're like,
I can't do it.
I'm sweating out all this alcohol, but luckily that's water weight, so that's good. I actually am losing weight, so that should work. Yeah. That should work just fine. All right, man. This was a good one. You
should try eggs.
I don't think I'm ready for it.
I would prefer you have a beer first.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. That's ridiculous.
I know, but I'm just voicing my preference.
And if I had a beer, I wouldn't drink it with you. We don't have that.
I didn't say you had to drink it with me.
We don't have that kind of relationship.
Just send me a Snapchat.
No, I definitely wouldn't do that. How funny would it be if I got all fucked up and I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm just an Adrian. Like, what would your reaction be if just randomly one weekend you got a drunk Snapchat from me?
I don't know. My roommates would probably have to call an ambulance because I'd have a heart attack.
You would?
I would be so fucking excited. Actually, you know what? If I didn't have a heart attack, I would try and talk you into giving me your address, and I'd get an Uber straight to your place.
You would?
Mm-hmm. And I'd bring a couple of my favorite people to party with.
Right.
And I would try and make you go fucking to town.
And I go, Adrian, I just realized Saturday really is for the boys.
For the boys!
And I go, Cathy was wrong, Adrian. Saturday is for the boys.
The boys!
You jealous you're not one of the boys?
No, I have a very big migraine right now because I've been up since 8 a.m.
Wow.
Well, at least you got tomorrow. It's for the boys.
There it is. Adrian, thank you.
Thank you.
Is your stupid Twitter still radio something? Or
That's right, but I'm working on getting the guy who has I Am Adrian to give it to me.
I am Adrian. So you're,
what
is it?
What about fuckboy Adrian?
Do you think
No,
about,
that has a cuss word in it.
you don't like cussing?
No.
Well, you can
that's
just
not
do
me.
a V instead of a
Don't try and
U.
label me, Cathy. That's not who I am.
That's true. That's the way the Greeks spelled fuck. With a V instead of a U.
Saturdays for the fuck boys, though, right?
That's right.
I guess, yeah. I mean, we have a lot of fun. So
You did look
call me
like a
whatever
bunch
you
of
want.
fuck boys, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, you could get Adrian on Radio Adrian 1.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kathy Kelley, Catherine Kelley.
Instagram more so. I'm looking for a little bit of a boost there. That's I Am Adrian.
You never even post.
I do every now and then.
How often do you post?
From anytime I'm here and I take a photo.
That's not an... How
Or-
often? How often?
How often?
Yeah.
I mean, it's there's really no. It's just
On
like,
average.
If I get something good, I'm just going up there.
You suck.
You know?
Yeah, I know. Catherine Kelley
Let's
on...
take one.
No. Catherine Kelley on Instagram. No, on Twitter. Kathy Kelley on Instagram.
Yeah.
There it is. And I'm Sam Roberts. And I'm not Sam on everything else, but you already knew that, didn't you? Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.